tell you that Seth wants nothing more than to bring his son home. He is absolutely lost without his son, which is a polar opposite to the mom and the stepfather. And damn the communist county that can't see the forest for the trees. Not my problem. But what they don't get to do is take my voice away because they want to be idiots. Early on in the investigation, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation warned against spreading misinformation online. However, as the months have dragged on, the case has been at the center of social media controversy and rumors because the stepfather and the mother has paid disruptors on this case. The mom and stepfather has paid disruptors on the case. Fact find that. That is not misinformation. That is true, accurate, and correct fact. However, as months have dragged on, the case has been the center of social media controversy and rumors, with Seth stating that their experienced online harassment and have only seen threats increase. And that's a true statement. They have kind of taken over the airways and created defamation campaigns against my clients, says Joseph Lesniak, who's representing Seth, Chapman's, and others, including Bullhorn Betty. Instead of keeping their eyes on the real important things here, which is finding this young man. Seth has continued actively searching for his son since he went missing on February 26th, when his mom and stepfather sat on their ass with their thumbs up it. And still said he has not given up hope, despite this situation being one long nightmare. Searches have stretched as far as western Tennessee. Many community members have also continued to aid in the search by putting up flyers. Be careful putting up flyers. Communist Sumner County likes to arrest people that do that. If they put the flyers up without a smile. As long as you have a smile and say, "We love the mom and stepdad," you don't have to worry about going to jail. But if you don't say it, or you tell them in your audience to go F themselves because something doesn't smell right, guess what? Go ahead and just put your hands behind your back after you put that flyer up, because you're going to see an inside of a jail cell. Why? Because we're in communist Sumner County. Many community members have also continued to aid the search by putting up flyers and holding vigils, as well as other gatherings. In August, a group of people with Sebastian's Army gathered outside a Sumner County Sheriff for answers or updates in the investigation. I truly believe I was arrested to try to prevent that. So you know what I did? We bonded out of jail, and we made sure our voice was heard right in front of the place that wanted to violate my rights. And if they're going to do that to me, there's no hope for this boy being found, because they clearly have their priorities all messed up. New information has been provided. Look at that beautiful smile. And his favorite snake, Brownie, that his stepfather punished him and took away. This boy was treated so barbarically from his family, his mom and stepfather. It's disgusting. And I'm going to say that as a statement of fact. As a statement of fact. He was punished barbarically. He's an autistic child. When he didn't clean his room, he had to pack up everything, or his family came in there and threw everything in the garbage right in front of him. He had a snake taken away because he forgot to feed a snake or take care of a snake right. He was an autistic boy. Every time he turned around, he was being punished for being autistic. It's disgusting and sick, and the county could have done something to prevent this boy disappearing, and once again, they chose to put their thumb up their butt and do squat to help this boy until he was missing. And they're still protecting the people that hurt him the worst. Fact check that, Sumner County. We would like to see a PIO. That's a public information officer, and just to see some updates. They could care less. Why? Because they're not working for this boy. They're working for mommy and stepdaddy. That's why. And if they're not, then they need to prove that, because the way the rest of the world is seeing it, it seems like they're working with the bad guys instead of the good guys. We got tips and stuff coming in, and we didn't know if law enforcement was following up on them, Seth said, but now we've got Dog's team. He has a whole team of attorneys, lawyers, and private investigators. At this point, my clients are focusing on getting leads and keeping the public and helping law enforcement in any way they can. We are only going to be, this channel will only help the FBI. We'll only help the FBI because we have more support from the FBI than we do from the state law enforcement or the local law enforcement. I have been condemning TBI since the Summer Wells case. And so, there's a love-hate relationship there. I have absolutely condemned communist Sumner County for their practices. And I'm not talking about the worker bees. They have to follow the instruction of their commanders. And so I am a top brass type of person. I condemn the decision makers because they're the ones that are ultimately responsible for everything. And so I never want any beat cop, any investigator, anybody like that ever feeling like I'm condemning them, unless I am condemning them. Like I have absolute condemnation for Detective Lisa Byington, which has been part of this county for 20 or 30 years. But she lied under oath in statements for me. She's lied to the judge once, and she lied on an actual affidavit once. So it tells me that she is willing to do anything for an arrest, and that's scary when she has these big busts. So I'm going to make sure that we're front and center, and her name is rang out as much as possible, because I want to make sure that any defense attorney that has an affidavit from her really hones in on those affidavits, because she's willing to lie. We have proof she's willing to lie, and I'm not going to shut my mouth up about this factual information, especially in my experience and what I'm dealing with.
She was a bad egg.